Oh, hello and welcome to What Are We Talking About with Jamie Jakes. I am him, and today we are here to make you guys some money. Which is exactly what we did all season long, dominating the sports books. We had some cold streaks along the way, but we were really hot, and guess what? James never had a cold streak, to be fair to him. He's always red hot. Speaking of which, this podcast is red hot. We've been hitting on all of our playoff bets, and really late in the season, we got really dialed in. Feel really, really good about it. I'm sitting here with a lot of brilliant minds, all based out of Dallas-Fort Worth area, introducing not a public figure, but is actually an NFL insider. James, thank you for being on the show, buddy.
Hello, thank you for having me. Excited to do the Propapalooza.
The Propapalooza, indeed. So exactly how this is going to work is James has how many prop bets prepared for us?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
So the episode's going to be 2 hours long.
There's groupings. There's groupings within the 14.
Now's a good time to mention that I have a hard out at about 8:55.
Yeah,
there's definitely groupings within the.
So you'll definitely get to like prop 4. And then you'll be out.
So
as long as we get to talk about Taylor Swift before I'm off the air, I'm good.
She's involved in some of them.
Oh, good. If you didn't bring her up, I was going to.
No.
Okay.
Of course, I'm gambling on Taylor
Swift. Is this a betting podcast or a PTA meeting? There's a lot of prop, and we're propping this.
Did anybody see Brittany Mahomes online today by chance?
Oh no, what'd she do now?
She did her first ever Sports Illustrated swimsuit photo shoot, and she shared the video on X, and it was something. I saw it. Anyways, moving on. So James is going to give us a prop.
Oh, wow.
And then
makeup person. This is incredible. The hair.
James is watching the video now. James is going to set up a prop. We're all going to say, do we like it? Do we not like it? Okay. And then at the end, we're going to bet sides of the game against the spread, the over and under, and all that sort of thing. Sound good, guys?
Hell yeah.
Cool. I got Mr. Most Days Off, Miles Francis, beneath me. Thank you for being on, buddy.
Stoked to be here as always, man.
And at Ryan Perrio on all social media platforms. Ryan Perrio, thank you for being on.
Let's get propping.
Let's get propping. And I will leave it up to you, James, right after I set up the game, of course. We have a showdown, the AFC champion versus the NFC champion. Almost like it is this way every single year. The Chiefs are going to represent the AFC, and the 49ers are going to be representing the NFC. And here we have the matchup. The 49ers are going to be 2-point favorites. The over-under is 47.5. That Chiefs money line currently on this sports book that we like to use is currently sitting at even money. James,
wow.
I'll let you get after it, buddy. What's going to be your first prop for the game? Maybe we'll talk about storylines as we go because you got a lot of content for us, buddy.
Well, first off, how does the game start? The national anthem. So we're got to start off with the national anthem prop. Okay. Reba McEntire is Our Lady of the evening. The line is currently set at 1 minute and 28 seconds, and I have taken the under at minus 130. I will preface this with I have gone on YouTube and watched 7 videos of Reba singing the national anthem at various sporting events, and not once has she gone over 128.
When was the most recent?
The most recent was actually a Nashville minor league baseball game. Was the most recent video. But she's done this at Rodeo Nationals. Is actually something she's appeared at 3 to 4 times.
Is that in Fort Worth?
I think it actually travels around. I would assume.
Oh, good.
I'm
Well,
an
it was
expert in
2
many things.
decades ago. These videos, 2 decades
PBR
ago.
insider. I am not a PBR insider.
Question before I contribute on this prop: if she dies before she gets to home of the Braves, does that count as the end of the song, or is like does it just keep going?
I think it would probably be theoretically a no bet at that point.
Probably a no bet if I had to guess. There's some like Reba McEntire
passion over. It would
I feel that you severely underestimate the Reba, like what that big hair has done for her in her life. Like it's held.
Oh, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Reba. So the most recent was at a minor league baseball game, and it was 20 years ago, James?
It was 2021.
In 2000. Oh, so very recently.
No, yeah, she has some very recent ones. She's been doing like she kind of seems like I've based on my research that she's sort of developed this niche of going to sporting events for free in exchange for just singing the national anthem, because she has appeared at relatively anything. Based on
her show is in syndication for like 10 years. She's not hurting for money.
Who's airing the Super Bowl this year? Is it NBC?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I feel like she's just got added to The Voice.
Oh, yeah, that's probably
so. I thought maybe it was like Peacock, and maybe that's how she got the gig. Is she's kind of going to do a promo for The Voice?
No, it's streaming on Paramount because they have that stupid.
Okay, you guys, we got a hard out in 2 hours, so you can relax. I'm with you on this one, James. You've impressed me with the research that you put in. You said what's the second difference? It's 133 is the over under.
128 is the final number.
And then her last performance in 2021,
107.
107. So way under. Do you think she had COVID because everyone had COVID at the time?
No, I mean, I do think she was kind of trying to hurry it up because it was a minor league baseball game. But the ones that I really took a lot of stake in were the rodeo national ones, because those were Flair going off. Like, similar her audience is in that audience as well.
I'm with you. Like let's smash the under. That's a massive. Like a 20%, 25% advantage, expected advantage. Yeah, that's a big one. So that's like big bet. Good job out of you, James. What do you think, Miles?
Obviously, I'm not going to go against that level of research. I mean, the man watched the national anthem performance 7 times. It sounds like some of those she could have got through it twice in that amount of time. So yeah, I think you got to smash that under button.
Ryan Perrio.
I'm going to be the lone dissenter because I think it's the biggest event on television that she is going to go just above that deadline, because she's going to maximize that land of the free is going to end up being like held, like, because every singer does it too. Like they all go for that.
She's got a low register.
He
doesn't hold the high note like that. She's gonna get it fast.
She's gonna.
She was a lower register. I'm Reba. Like
she works 2 jobs to get things done. Okay.
Yeah.
She's a survivor.
Anyways, okay. So Ryan's the lone wolf against this great first prop to start with. Way too much conversation that came from it. So let's get to
you only got 38 more.
Yeah. Let's get to prop number 2 out of 11, James.
Let's get to the one that probably has the most controversy around it. The Gatorade that will be dumped on the winning head coach will be the color orange.
I've heard about this.
Orange at plus 450 is what I grabbed at. It's already down to minus 300.
And he is an actual NFL insider. I have to agree.
I may or may not know the color of one of the teams. I may or may not know that for a fact that one of the teams has this color.
I feel like Jamie shouldn't get to input on this one, being that he's colorblind. It really doesn't seem like he has much to say about this concept.
It's a shade of gray.
But yeah, I'm with you. That's a crazy advantage, and that's something you're only going to get on this podcast because we actually have an NFL insider. So that's 2 feels like 75% advantage bets right there off the bat. Miles, what do you think?
Man, I guess maybe I'm alone here, but orange Gatorade is like the worst flavor, dude. I would take yellow or red or blue any day of the week. So I'm going with yellow is exactly what I was going to say. I'd put my money on yellow.
Okay. Mr. Ryan.
I'm going to say it depends on the team, because I feel like Andy Reid is an orange Gatorade guy. So I think if the Chiefs win, it'll be orange. I think if San Francisco wins, it'll be blue.
Interesting. That's a hot take. So those James, correct me if I'm wrong. What's the odds on each color? Could you bet blue or orange?
Yeah, you can bet blue, orange, purple.
But if you bet blue or orange,
you can bet clear. You can bet clear.
Are those both plus 200 or better?
Everything else is now better than orange simply because of orange movements. Because Kyle Shanahan in his press conference said his favorite flavor of Gatorade is orange. That is not my inside info that I have.
So he has the other side, is what he's saying. So okay, what are the current odds on orange then, James?
Plus 300. Plus 300 is the odds.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you could bet orange
if you think a certain team may win this game, and you like to get better lines than what are out there, maybe 300 is worth more than 100.
Yes. However, what Ryan was saying is you could bet blue and orange, and if one of them hit, your positive money no matter what, as long as you bet the same units. Okay. Anyways, so I'm with you. I'm backing you twice because I know you're a real NFL insider.
And
we've got some dissenters on the panel.
It's
so
not
far.
that I don't trust his NFL insiderness. It's that I think he's more of a Powerade guy. So I just don't trust his Gatorade knowledge.
Whoa.
Wow.
Go ahead, James. 3 of 11.
Herbalife. I'm drinking Herbalife. These ones are two that are matched with each other here. So during America the Beautiful and during the national anthem, these are both individual bets. A 49ers player will be shown before a Chiefs player. So these are individually during the national anthem and during America the Beautiful. A Niners player will be shown before the Chiefs. I got both of these at plus 110 because I think this is just a 50-50 shot. And so why not grab plus 110 when it's a coin flip?
So it's Chiefs is minus 140 or 150 or something like that.
Minus
you're saying
120 was what the Chiefs were. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because sometimes they will load it up and they'll show like the not so popular one. So if I was doing the broadcast, I'd say we're going to Brock Purdy first, and then we're going to cut to Patrick Mahomes saying that's Travis Kelce, big pop. And that's comedy, right? So that only makes sense that you would go to a 49er first. So I'm sorry, but I'm with you again. Miles, what do you think?
Man, I the only thing that makes sense to me on this is the positive money, because it's like I don't know how you would have insider concept on which team gets shown first. I don't know. I like
business though, Miles. You know how these things work. You work on commercials.
Here's what it really comes. What it's really going to get. That's exactly what I was going to say, Ryan. Is what it really comes down to is they're going to wait and see how much bets are in on this, and then they're just going to go with the better outcome for the bookie.
Oh, so you say script is in because they could literally script it. I see. Ryan, do you have anything else to add?
I'm gonna go with you guys, Jamie. I believe Brock Purdy. Okay. They're gonna go to Brock Purdy. They're gonna go the underdog. Then they're gonna go to the guy that's been there before. Then like the rugged tight end, Travis Kelce, and then they'll go to Kittle.
Yeah. So I just assume Pat and Kelce are going to be standing next to each other. I don't know. That's just what I've envisioned. So that's during America the Beautiful, James?
Both. Yeah, both. So I have an individual bet on the national anthem, and I have
understood
an bet on America the Beautiful. So as long as one of them hits, it's positive. So
understood. So you're taking both. Okay, totally understand.
Plus 110 on both. Good money.
Yeah,
right there.
I'm totally with you there. So now we're on to number 5 of 11 already.
I know we're cruising.
We need to chatter more. I think we need to have some more insightful conversation about these props.
You're just trying to get out of here before you have to hit all these props at 8:55. You're like, oh, look at the time.
Yeah. I got to get these bets in before we upload this podcast. So.
Yeah, because the market will move.
We're gonna flood it, dude.
We've moved it before, just saying, especially recently.
I'm sure it's got to be like a wild betting market right now. Like everything's got to be like by the hour, just.
Yeah, I mean it has. It's been moving a good deal. First touchdown of the game, under 7.5 yards, plus 100.
First touchdown of the game. Okay, go ahead. Do you have a take on this? Because I'll.
He just wants to back you.
I think it's just going to be a classic. Like if the Chiefs get the ball, I think they're going to do a classic long drive, punch it in under the 5-yard line, have Kelce line up.
Pacheco or Kelce.
Yeah. And then if it's the Niners, I mean, CMC run from the 6. I mean, I think both of these teams on their first drives are going to be conservative. I think both of them are going to be running the ball a good deal. There's a chance for a home run ball here, but I think it's more highly likely that they're more of a long, drawn-out drive. They both got their playbooks played up. It's Andy Reid, it's Kyle Shanahan. They've got the first 12 plays already down.
And what's the vig on this, James?
Plus 100. So it's
plus 100. So even money.
Yeah.
Even money that's under 7. In that case, So I definitely agree with you that Chiefs punch it in if they're the first to score. I imagine both teams will elect to kick in the first half if they do win the coin toss or defer. So, but that 49ers team is so high flying. I almost like them scoring better outside the 10. But if it is even money, I have to pick one because that's the whole gimmick of the show. Do you have anything else to add, James?
Over 7.5 is minus 110. That's the only other piece of info I'll give you.
Okay. But you finished your take. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. You're good.
Cool. I'm going to wait until Miles chimes in. What do you think on this one? The first touchdown over under 7.5 yards?
7.5.
I strongly feel that both of these teams have big potential for a home run ball on a opening drive. So I kind of hate the fact that it's got the negative money, but that makes sense. I would almost just for the sake of this podcast, I'm going to recommend the over 7.5. But I mean, in real life, I would probably just avoid this one because I mean, it's just such a crapshoot.
Yeah. Ryan Perrio.
I'm going to put James. I just believe it's going to be a feeling out process. There's not going to be anything unless there is an absolute breakdown, which neither of these defenses really seem to be giving up at this point. I think they're going to be it's going to be very conservative, and it's going to be. It's either going to be Pacheco or McCaffrey, one of the two.
But didn't both these defenses for the first touchdown of last game give up bombs? Like the first one would have been Zay Flowers, right? Against the Chiefs was an absolute bomb. And then against the Lions, it was JMO for the 40-yard run.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to remember we're talking about the first half theoretically, the first half defense versus the second half defense. So for that reason, I disagree with James.
Hey.
Sorry, Ryan Perrio. Go ahead and finish your thought.
I guess 2 weeks of preparation is all I'm saying is these guys have had 2 weeks of practice, not just 1 week to figure out who they're playing and then get on it. They've had a week and a half to 2 weeks to just study every single facet of their playbook for all the seasons.
But that's also that's also 2 weeks of preparation for Andy Reid and his offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and you know, he's literally not going to hold anything back. So why wouldn't he on the first drive just do like a triple pass to Kelsey for 70 yards or something like that? I don't know.
Try to hit that trick play that they got the penalty flag called on him from a few weeks back.
Kadarius Toney.
Exactly. Yeah. With a chance for actually making the catch.
Is Toney active? Is he going to be active for this game?
I think so.
I thought he was inactive, is what I'd heard, but that may have been an AI speech or things that somebody had done Andy Reid press conference in AI. And it was just him like blasting Kadarius Toney.
So sorry, Ryan. Which side were you on?
I'm on the side with James where I think it's going to be a very short, methodical drive, and it's going to be a short goal line run.
Great. This is fun. I'm having a great time. So we're at number 6 of 11, right?
Yeah, I've got a second pairing
cool.
with these bets
being
similar to each other. So the first bet is the shortest field goal will be under 27.5 yards at plus 110. And I also have that the longest scoring play will be a field goal over a touchdown at plus 115.
Okay.
Wait, say that second part one more time.
The second one is going to be the longest scoring play. So will be a field goal over a touchdown. So that means a 58-yard field goal would equate to a touchdown would have to be scored for 57 or less yards for the rest of the game.
So Harrison Butker and Jake Moody, right? Harrison Butker has a fucking cannon for a leg. Yeah. So like I wouldn't be surprised if there's like some big plays, a little bit of hyperbole there with the 70 yards for Kelsey, because honestly, like the Chiefs are built to score 30, 40-yard touchdowns, not 70-yard touchdowns. They're not that fast anymore. And I think kind of same thing with the Niners. Like they're going to get big old chunk plays, but they don't have anybody. I mean, maybe Ayuk, but not really. Maybe Debo, but not really, who has that super duper breakaway speed, against a fast defense that's really going to score like a 50+ yarder. And Harrison Butker can kick one on the first drive. But you're taking the under for your under 27 yards?
Yeah, so that's the shortest field goal of the entire game.
Shortest field goal of the game.
Yards. I think somebody's going to take a field goal in the red zone. So basically, that's
really. So give
me
me your explanation on that. Do you think that's like a game situation thing where someone drives it down late in the second or first quarter?
Yeah, I think you're going to see a situation where somebody's up by 1-2 points, and it's going to be like 4-5 from the 15, and they're just going to be like, "We got to take the points. We got to trust our defense."
So where would the football have to be for? So 27. So the ball has to be
12-yard line. No, wait.
17.
12 plus 7. 12. So they would have to be on the 10-yard line, right? 27-yard field goal.
That's 25 because it's 5 yards back for a kicker.
5 yards? I thought it was 7.
Yeah.
I thought it was 7. So they have to be on the 10-yard line.
I think it's
kick a field goal.
5 technically.
It's 5, but I think.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I was better at math.
Well, just consider this a field goal is taken under the 12.5-yard line is a good way to think about this one.
You may be right.
I'm right. It's 10-yard line. I'm right. Because the 27-yard field goal is kicked from the 17-yard line. 7-yard snap minus that from 17 would be 10-yard line. So inside the 10-yard line. I'm glad we got to the bottom of this.
Good time filling.
I know.
I hate that bet. I think that's a bad bet. I don't think there's going to be a kick. The only way I see them kicking a field goal within the 30-yard line is if they get to the goal line and then they get like a holding penalty that backs them up or a big sack that backs them up. So they're forced to kick a field goal. I don't see either of those teams at any point in this game. Christian McCaffrey, Isaiah Pacheco, Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy, Deebo Samuel. Like, are you kidding me? Kittle, Kelsey, inside the 10. No chance. No chance. I'll take the over on that, even if it's like minus 120, minus 130.
I think minus 140 is the other end.
They really did pinch me out of that one, didn't they?
I'm gonna go look up the wording of it to make sure we get this completely right. But
I'm taking the over. I'll still take 140. I'll take the over. I totally disagree with you, Miles.
I totally disagree with you. I think that's an easy under because you're going to have a situation for the exact reasons you said earlier. The Chiefs are built for those middle range plays. They're not going to get all the way there. They're going to get close. The San Francisco defense is going to shut them down. Andy Reid is not the Lions coach, Dan Campbell. He will take those 3 points all goddamn day. And both of those stud kickers, there's definitely going to be a longer field goal than there is touchdown. I in fact, prop those together, parlay those together.
So, no, I agree with the second one. I'd like to make that very clear. Harrison Butker, we already hashed that out. There's going to be a 55-yard field goal, and that'll be it. There won't be a 55-yard touchdown. That's not going to happen. And what were the odds on that, James, again?
115. Plus 115.
Really?
Yeah.
For a longer field goal than touchdown. That's
that seems like a
no-brainer odds.
Yeah, I was very psyched about it. There's one other play that I'm more psyched about with no insider knowledge that's coming up a little later. A little teaser.
Okay, so not counting the ones you have insider knowledge on, which obviously because you know. But okay, anyways, Ryan Perrio, go ahead.
I'm going to take the under on the shortest field goal because I think early in the game I think they will go for that short field goal. Versus late in the game. Once it's late in the game and they have to have the points, and I could see them getting more and more aggressive. As far as the longer play, my only fear is Deebo Samuel because somehow that dude takes a generic 10-yard out or 10-yard pitch and turns it into an 80-yard just battlefield. He looks like Bo Jackson from Tecmo Bowl. People just bounce off of him. And it's ridiculous how much power he has in that frame because it looks like they've got him lined up. But
he was the guy who. Go ahead.
I was gonna say they also have. Do they count defensive turnovers in that too? Like if someone had like a
pick six,
a pick six or a fumble.
I've hedged that with some other bets.
Or if there's like a
We're getting out of things here.
If Mahomes somehow has a sack fumble and like it's picked up by Joey Bosa at the third, and he just.
That would count.
Okay, this is fun. Okay,
I think I might take the offensive play over the field goal. I may go that route just because there are some little outliers of things that these teams have done in the past that just is like.
And that's what minus 105, minus 110.
Yeah, minus 110. I think.
That sucks. It should be 105. It's really not fair, but
they know people are going to be degenerates on this. The VIGs are not good on a lot of these, which is why
that 30 cent layover is pretty rough, especially for something.
Heads and tails is minus 115 each side. So.
that's outrageous.
It's gonna be great when the hedge coin lands on this edge.
They have to hedge against tails is really what it is. So Ryan disagrees with all of us on that.
Yes.
And I disagree with all of you on the first one. So what number are we at here? 7?
Be 8 because we're doing doubles in here.
Sweet.
We have a special teams or a defensive touchdown to occur at plus 210. So that is somewhat hedging the idea of a fumble recovery for more than 58 yards or whatever Harrison Butker ends up kicking. That's somewhat of the idea behind that. I also just want to see a special teams or defensive touchdown.
So that makes me think so that's really important for Kadarius Toney to be active because he's the guy who's going to return a punt, right?
Or put on the ground. So
or miss a cat, bobble a cat, ends up in the other
or muff the punt or muff the punt. So I love this if Kadarius Toney is active, and then I would even take a sneaky little peek at Kadarius Toney special teams score or something like that, which I'm sure is available. Because everything is for the Super Bowl, which is why if you spend as much time as James has on this, you can find some tasty little treats along the way. But yeah, go ahead, James.
Another one we're talking about defenses. I have a safety to occur at plus 750.
So safety and special teams touchdown to score. Safety at plus 750.
Wow.
Which has happened in a Super Bowl before. Broncos versus Seahawks.
So I'm going to say I don't like the safety one, but the special teams or otherwise I do love if it's Kadarius Toney. Miles, what do you think about these?
I'm with you on the fact that it's the combination of the defensive or special teams touchdown with positive money feels like that's worth the shot. And while 750 feels like a nice little lure, I think with the mobility that Patrick Mahomes has, that's not going to happen. No. And honestly, Brock Purdy, even as irrelevant as he is, seems to be pretty good about not taking sacks. So I don't like that. I'm going to say no safety, even with those odds.
Yeah, they're not spicy enough for me. If we were talking plus 2,100 instead of 700, if it was a 3x of that, I'd be like, hell yeah. Maybe you get a holding call or an intentional grounding on a wrong route that's supposed to be a screenplay, doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Something like a procedural safety, which still, of course, counts as safety for you. But I plus 700. I don't know what the implied odds are on that. I don't have my abacus out, but I gotta say that's probably closer to 10%.
Around 10.
10%. So what do I know?
10 to 15.
10 to 15%. I think there's less than a 10% chance that happens, so I can't bet plus 700. Ryan Perrio.
As far as the safety, I don't see that happening for the reasons you guys have already explained. Is these quarterbacks are just not even nowadays. They're just way too prone to throw the ball as much as they can before they're ruled down. It's been to some teams' benefit and detriment. So I don't see a safety. As far as defense or special teams touchdown, who was I could see maybe Pacheco maybe returning kicks. Ray McLeod's done a great job for the 49ers in the return game this year, so I could see them possibly getting a return. But to me, it's going to be more defensive than special teams, but there is potential out there.
Okay. So, by the way, implied odds, James, plus 700, 12.5.
Yeah.
Look at us. Professional sports gamblers, baby.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Not me. Just talking shit on a podcast on a Thursday night. Yeah. So I think there's less than a 12.5% chance that happens. So I don't like the 700. But if Kadarius Toney is active, which we could also Google search.
I'm seeing that he is based on my research right now.
Okay, based on your sources, he is active. So yeah, I love the special teams one because, like we said, that counts. That could be that counts defensive touchdowns too, right? So that could even be like a Kadarius Toney whoopsie, Like he's gonna cause a touchdown.
There's a lot of value to that prop,
and it's not gonna be in a conventional way. It's a lot of value to that prop. So how many left do we have?
We've got 4 left, and
Sweet.
3 of them involve officiating. So I'll run through the 3 of them right now.
Okay.
First off is going to be that a thumbs up occurs right up. First off,
do that?
I don't know.
Is that a MacBook feature? What did we just see?
All right.
Don't do that again, dude. Don't stop that.
That happens.
I was like,
I didn't like that at all.
Like serious meetings that I have on Google Meet sometimes. It's really funny. You're like discussing $1 million contract and you do this, and then I'll like shoot off confetti. Anyway, so these are for penalties to occur for both of these. One is for roughing the passer to occur at any point. That is plus 110. There is for offsetting penalties to occur at any point, plus 150. And the last one, which is an over-under, and this is by far my favorite one, is for the change to be used more than 1.5 times at plus 310. If they measure the ball twice, change, it's plus 310. I don't know how this is available. Doing that.
Those
100%. It's the biggest game of the year.
Those chains and are these available in all sports books? And would you be comfortable sharing with us what sports books you're getting these odds from?
I bet these props on bovada.lv.
Okay.
They're one of my favorite overseas sports books. So Bovada is what I use to get my degenerate gambling in for sure.
Hell yeah.
But it's just going to be if you can find it, really, because all these props are available everywhere. You just got to find it.
BetOnline.ag has a lot of these as well if you're looking for another website.
Yeah, and I don't know what the laws are in other states, but in Texas, you can legally bet overseas, but you can't bet in state. Really weird. But anyways.
Just don't be a bookie. That's all you got to do in Texas. Just don't accept money as a bookie and you're fine.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah, so anyways, where were we?
Is this a bad time for me to plug my new bookie business located here in the DFW?
Cash only.
Yeah, all those referee props are no-brainers to me. If you can find them, grab them. So obviously the chains. We literally have a short going semi like viral, not crazy viral.
Dude,
but
the roughing the passer flag gets thrown the first time Patrick Mahomes walks on the field. Yeah, like he steps out. He trips on his own shoelace. That's roughing the passer.
And I'm thinking of the pass rushers in this game in particular, and there are veterans, but the veterans are not really known for like not roughing the passer. You know,
they have that old school mentality where they're gonna murder somebody on this field.
Rub some dirt
Bingo.
on it.
Yeah.
They love roughing the passer, and they love using those chains. And what was the other one, James?
Offsetting penalties to occur at any point.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
It could happen on
the chain guys from the opposing teams are going to get into it on one of the second or third times they come out on the field.
So here's what's going to happen. On the first drive, there'll be a short call, and they'll have to get the chains out. Later in that drive, after they get the first down, there's a play. Patrick Mahomes gets hit late, but there's also a holding call, offsetting penalties, and they have to actually measure after they give them
these
the whatever on the next drive.
Going crazy. That's gonna be a good
time. So I guess they wouldn't be able to measure on offsetting penalties. That wouldn't make sense. But anyways.
But if they just did it for fun, why not?
2 out of 3 ain't bad, Jamie.
Yeah.
Dang it. Oh well. Ryan, are you good on these?
I'm good on these. I think you should take them all. Like I said, especially the amount of chains being used. This is the biggest game of the year. There's no way that they're not going to use the chains if asked for it, because if this Super Bowl gets somehow noted as the Super Bowl where the chains or something like that, like the officials are going to. It's just you don't want to be the officials that basically take the fun out of the Super Bowl by not doing the right thing and not doing your job. And so I feel like they're going to do all these things. Roughing the passer, that's Patrick Mahomes should basically have that as his under the helmet little phrase there instead of that should just
and racism / roughing the passer.
Yeah. Because he's absolutely the preeminent, because he holds the ball and can absolutely release it with 2 seconds. He gets nailed as he's releasing the football, and they hit
literally levitating off of the ground to like sidearm.
Dude, if he gets hit between the hash mark and the sideline, it's a roughing the passer call on that dude. Like, it's ridiculous how much he gets that flag.
Or he'll do that late hook slide that they, like, as you've pointed out so many times on this and many of your What Are We Talking About podcasts, is that maybe they need to do something about the hook slide mid 0.5 seconds before contact so that the guy ends up hitting him and getting a roughing.
Is that a roughing the passer for a slide if he's running, or it might be unnecessary roughness? So that wouldn't count, but we still love it.
Depends on where he's running. If it's behind the line of scrimmage, you could
right. If he gives himself up, it could be either or. Anyways, James, is that all of them?
One more.
Okay.
One that all of America is frankly tuning into the Super Bowl to find out.
Ready for it.
Post-game proposal of any two people, not just Taylor Swift or Travis Kelce. Plus 210. Any proposal to
plus
occur
210. Shut up.
Any proposal to occur on the field between any two people, no matter who they are, plus 210. I'm going to pay somebody to get field passes.
Just go run over to Andy Reid and propose to him.
I will storm the field and propose.
Does the person have to accept the proposal? Like, as long as the person puts on
yes or no, though. There is a Taylor Swift to be proposed and saying no at plus 10,000 if you want to grab it.
We all know that's never going to happen because she wouldn't say no.
At plus 10,000, I might take it. It's kind of funny.
The any two people is an awesome feature to this prop, because if you were just going to leave it at Taylor and Travis, absolutely zero chance that's happening. I don't think that they're going to. I don't think that Taylor would want that to happen, because that's like Travis's moment. It's going to be a whole different thing. That's just not the type of.
They haven't been really public about it, Miles.
Yeah.
They haven't been public about it. They've been everyone's mad at them for the media covering them too much, even though they pretty much didn't even ask for it.
No, of course
but
not.
At some point, you have to spill the beans. Like, hey, I'm dating this giant human being, this guy who's like literally the best tight end in the history of tight ends. Like, I'm dating a superstar. If you see me backstage at a Taylor Swift concert, it's not because I'm a super fan on my bye week. It's because like I'm dating this girl. Like, that had to come out at some point, and they held it under wraps for as long as they could, I think.
There's zero chance that proposal happens, but
I agree. It has happened in my brain a million times before. Travis Kelce proposing to Taylor Swift.
Oh, I thought you were saying Travis Kelce proposing to you.
No. Travis.
We all dream.
We know you said yes.
Every night.
I've been thinking about that ever since they won the AFC Championship game. Is Taylor getting to propose to under the confetti after they win the Super Bowl? But I don't think it's gonna happen in real life. So I agree with you at the same time.
How dare you, Miles? You know Jamie's saving himself for Pat McAfee.
Ryan, what do you think of this one? I'm off this one 100%.
I'm off this one because I just don't think I don't see how you can capture this, because I don't see the camera. I think cameras are going to go everywhere. So if it's not someone super famous, if it's not a football player of any kind or a coach, it's going to be absolutely a tree falling in the woods. Does it make a sound?
When I hop on that stage and propose to Roger Goodell, you're going to eat your word.
I love Travis and Taylor.
Is there a halftime prop?
Sorry, go ahead, Ryan. We're on delay here. That's why we keep talking.
There is what song Usher comes out with first. To be honest, the amount of Usher songs I know is zero. So.
What about if Taylor Swift is somehow
in the performance? God,
yeah,
I bet you that's out there.
It probably is, so what I was saying was like that's just them taking money. Because how would you even quantify? How would you score that ticket? Like, Travis Kelce proposed to Taylor Swift and she said no. Like, are you going off of the videos, the camera review of her saying yes or no, or the fallout afterwards when they like call off the wedding? Like, when do you cash that ticket?
This is the nice thing that I will say about both Bovada and Bet Online. Their head odds makers are on Twitter and will answer these questions for you. Cool. I've seen it plenty of times. So if you do have actual questions about these odds and how they score it, they will literally go through and explain why they did or didn't score a ticket. And they are very open and honest about it on X, not Twitter. But
that sort of transparency and accessibility is commendable.
Yeah.
I would love to know what Travis Kelce's what Kelsey's emotions would be after winning the Super Bowl, but then getting turned
No.
down by Taylor Swift for her wedding proposal. And then you've somehow got to like pick yourself up and then just like pretend like everything's okay.
Yeah. So the scenario that it does happen is the Chiefs lose. Kelsey still tries to propose. Then Taylor would definitely say no. You know what I'm saying?
She only marries winners, dude.
Yeah.
Bingo. Oh shit. We're pet sitting, and this dog needs to go outside.
I'm a little disappointed that we're already through all these props and we didn't get more Taylor, man. I would have liked to like get like an over under bet on how much screen time she gets in general.
I have an interesting one.
Go for it.
I think it's plus 350 right now, and I have considered taking it. Is Taylor Swift to be shown with a drink in hand at any point? Yes, plus 350.
100%.
That's definitely gonna happen. She always has a drink in her hand. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
we can.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, the dog came up to me to tell me that she needed to go outside. And while she did it, she ripped where this microphone connects into, which is like a little box thing. And it went flying. It didn't break. So here we are.
I also feel like there could have been some fun bets about how many layers of clothing Jason Kelsey takes off at any point. Quadruple it for Donna.
Oh, yeah.
Donna Kelsey.
Yeah. Because like
Jason Kelsey should take out Tony Siragusa's role where he's like on the sideline, because I feel like he'd be an amazing like field reporter, just like doing out there with Buffalo, jumping through tables. Like he could be the next fun guy for broadcasts since he's
the next Pat McAfee.
Did you guys see his profile picture change that he did?
Who's that, Jason?
Jason Kelsey, yeah. So at the Pro Bowl, a guy was shirtless and painted a green 62 on his chest, like his naked jersey, essentially. And Jason Kelsey went up and took a picture of him, and he set that as his current profile picture.
Oh, that's awesome.
Legendary, dude.
You know what else is legendary? The Super Bowl. Whoa. And the Kansas City Chiefs are playing the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy, true underdog story. Patrick Mahomes, legendary story already. Dynasty-worthy Chiefs. We thought we'd never see it again after we saw Tom Brady do it so many times. And we might be seeing the next man up with their careers kind of crossing ways if the Chiefs are able to win this one. And I think they do. I think the Niners took that long break and they kind of admitted to feeling sluggish, like openly in the media. So like, yeah, we felt kind of sluggish for that game that we played. They hadn't played for 3 weeks. All right. Like they got the bye and they sat their guys in week 18. And then they went out and had a good, decent win, but it was close. And then they almost let the Lions, which let's be honest, I'm a Lions fan. That roster isn't a Super Bowl roster. Not yet. There's no way the Lions should have been in that game. I think the Niners are still kind of playing on their heels. And I think they had loafing tackles. Talked about it on the Pat McAfee show today. They had loafing tackles in the NFC Championship game. And I'm like, okay, so now they're, playing really, really bad outside of like a one or two quarters against the Lions. And now we're expecting them to go into the Super Bowl with still a great quarterback. Brock Purdy's going to be a great quarterback going forward. I don't doubt his future, but I doubt him in this spot versus Patrick Mahomes. Who are you going to give me, Brock Purdy or Patrick Mahomes? I'll take Patrick Mahomes every day of the week, even when he has the flu. Chiefs defense is what it is. And I just think they've got themselves figured out offensively that they can just ride Pacheco. I think Pacheco is going to be a massive matchup for the 49ers because all they've done, especially in the playoffs, is just get massive yards gained on the ground against them. You can't always pass on them, but you can pound the rock against them. I think Pacheco's the perfect style of runner because, he like punishes, right? He punishes people when he tackles them. We were talking about it last week when we were watching the game live, and these Niners are soft. They live in Santa Clara. And that's why I'm taking the Chiefs +2. I'm taking the Chiefs money line. This also probably has a lot to do with the fact that I bet the Niners at +300 to win the Super Bowl a while back. James, what do you think?
It's a good spot to be in. Would you say the Niners are as soft as Drake, or?
Definitely.
Talk about a
never
long
mind.
shot.
Just curious. Yeah. I remember when I got my first Slinky Dog toy. I have taken, believe it or not, plus money on this one. I know people are shocked. This opened up at plus 115.
Yeah, it did.
And James, the underdog god, obviously grabbed that. I think this game is a coin flip. So if you can find a positive number for the Chiefs in any manner that's higher than plus 100, or even if you want to just be a degenerate and take plus 100, I think it's a good chance. I think both these teams are amazing. We've seen some great timely plays by the Chiefs this playoffs. I think they have that veteran leadership, that been their mentality, where they can step up in those big moments. I think San Francisco is the more talented team for sure. But considering Kyle Shanahan's record in the Super Bowl as well, I'm a little nervous about his ability to finish this off. I think the Niners definitely have a chance of winning this game, but I think the Chiefs just have the same amount of opportunity based on outside factors, outside of the pure talent on the field. So I like plus money. I've been doing it all year. It's been working for us all year. So why not the final game of the year we take plus money one more time?
Yeah, I too like this better when the line was 2.5 or 2 3/4 plus the Chiefs. But I don't brag about it. All right, James. I just talk about the
just
current. Just letting you know that I made this great bet that you can't bet anymore. So sorry about it. Thank you for subscribing. Anyways. Yeah, no, I'm with you though. I don't see why the Chiefs are underdogs in this game, honestly, the way they're playing. Ryan Perrio?
I am going to go the other way, and I'm going to bet the under. I think this is going to start out as touchdown here, touchdown there, but it's going to tighten up. I believe the 49ers are going to win. I think they're just inevitable. I think that even though sometimes teams like last year, we said, it's kind of similar with the Eagles kind of being the heavy favorite that everybody was talking about, and it just all of a sudden then turned and the Chiefs took it. I think the 49ers I think this is the matchup. To me, this is the best coaching matchup you could have as far as the Super Bowl goes. I think it is absolutely the two best coaches in the game today, both from the same coaching tree. So both of them have similar bags of tricks, but I'm going to take the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan to basically undo the past of the Atlanta Falcons debacle where he was an offensive coordinator and watched his team just basically fold. I think the 49ers are going to take it.
So you're taking the 49ers. Are you taking them at -2? Or are you just recommending the under? Okay, you're taking the Niners -2 and the under.
Yes.
Got it. James, could you by chance pull up the first quarter and first half over under of this game? Or if just second half? I'm sure it is, but maybe you could pull it up quickly. Because what I'm thinking is I like the under here, Ryan. But you know what I like even more is the under in the second half scoring, because both of these defenses. Go ahead, James.
Both halves are 23.5 right now.
Okay, so I love second
first quarter
half.
9.5, second quarter 13.5, third quarter 9.5, fourth quarter 13.5.
I almost like first quarter over parlayed with second half under, which I'm sure you could do same game parlay on certain sports books. I'm sure you could find it, or someone who would accept it. But anyways, I love, just like you were saying, Ryan, like they get off to a little bit of a warm start, and then they just lock them up. Like both defenses just lock up in the second half. So I'm with you there. But obviously I'm opposed to you. So you're a big believer in this Brock Purdy kid, huh?
I'm a believer in the coach more than in
okay.
To me, I believe watching their running game. It's like watching poetry. Like it's in a game where you're highlighting the pass. It's beautiful to watch a fullback being used in ways that you've never thought you'd ever see a fullback being used.
Yeah,
fullback from an Ivy League school. Let's not forget.
Yeah. Out there practicing the golf swing in like a Speedo, apparently, with him and Christian McCaffrey.
Talk about hot.
He
should be on the Sports Illustrated swimsuit rookies edition.
Yeah, get him in that red swimsuit.
Miles, what do you think on this one, buddy?
I think that, first of all, we all know that football isn't fake, but it is predetermined. And I think that Brock Purdy is the Cody Rhodes of this year's Super Bowl, and Taylor Swift is the Rock. The original script for this was Brock Purdy's year. He was going to be Mr. Irrelevant, getting that ring. But somewhere along the way, more Taylor Swift fans started tuning in than actual football fans. And the biggest rule in wrestling is the big show. You got to send the fans home happy. And you don't want this new influx of potential merchandise buyers sad, not ready to watch football again. You want them hungry for another championship run next year. And that is why the Kansas City Chiefs are absolutely take the money line. They're going for it. I'm with you, Jamie. First quarter over, second half under, Chiefs money line.
Okay, so you're with me on Chiefs too. You think so like you said. So are you also recommending the Rock in WrestleMania, the greatest WrestleMania of all time against your tribal chief?
For some of those that missed a reference, The Rock has absolutely taken Cody Rhodes' spot at WrestleMania. It's a recent development.
Yeah. And people are upset about it.
They are. They're not happy.
Sorry, I'm watching the NFL honors.
So are you taking The Rock in that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would never bet against The Rock in any circumstance.
It's The Rock at plus money. You got
yeah. You got to take The Rock.
I smell what the books are cooking.
Hell yeah. Okay, so that's a professional wrestling reference to end this football podcast. Does anybody have any more thoughts on this game? It feels like we got a lot smarter as sports gamblers today.
I definitely feel smarter.
Well,
only bet what you can afford to lose, people. Just because it's the Super Bowl doesn't mean you need to up your budget for this game. Stick within your normal betting numbers. If you're betting crazy odd props like we talked about today, bet small numbers. Do not bet
your. This dude must be from Santa Clara. Don't be soft. Mortgage your house. Put it all on the line.
You're not living if you're not almost going broke every day.
Yeah. Be reckless with your gambling. No, be very mindful of it. It should be annoying that you lost the bet, not crippling financially that you lost the bet. Ryan Perrio.
Same rules as your cocaine habit.
Shout out to CJ Stroud, who just won Offensive Rookie of the Year by a voting score of 48-2. Almost a unanimous Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Puka got two votes?
Yes.
Nice. Go ahead.
Nice young.
Congratulations to him. I'll be at Dallas Comedy Club at the Joke Machine 10 p.m. Saturday. It's going to be a show about joke writing.
Hell yeah. And Mr. Most Days Off, Miles Francis?
You can follow me everywhere at Mr. Most Days Off. I've got several shows coming up in the DFW area. I post about them all over my socials, so you can find that there. And you can catch me this Sunday for the Super Bowl live from Jamie Jake's living room.
Hell yeah. That will happen. We'll be live here from the casting couch in Dallas, Texas, live stream watch party in the game with a live studio audience. All right. There'll be actual people, almost a dozen people. Well, I have confirmed that over a dozen people.
Baker's dozen or a dozen?
Over a baker's dozen.
We call it a Mayfield's dozen on this show.
That's a big crowd. That's a big audience. So we will be live stream watch partying it here with great microphones, with a great camera. And I am very, very excited about that. So please subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified when we do go live for the Super Bowl. My name's Jamie Jakes. You can follow me at drjamiejakes on Instagram. You can follow me at JAMJKS on X. My girlfriend just got home from a 3-day work trip in Austin. So that is my time to sign off. Anything else to say, boys?
Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, that's a lock as well. My dog is choking. Natalie got me a Buc-ee's blanket. Thank you all. Please subscribe and
Super
good night.
Tune in.